All right, guys, this is Eric, and I'm going to be wrapping up week 7 in our contest prep, Road to Tampa. Another smooth week in the books. Yes, sir. No complaints. So, starting off here, got myself just working on a little bit of back, doing some pull downs. Up next, I'm going to be working on some shoulders, just doing some dumbbell presses. I'm actually pleased because I started a new routine this week, so that's always a good sign. And just to switch it up after a while, I was doing another routine before this one for the last 16 weeks. So yeah, it was definitely time to get a change in there. But up next, we have Chris just doing some seated bicep curls. If you guys haven't tried those, this is a really good movement. You can use just the regular bench like that, or you can use an incline type of bench. Both very good movements to work the biceps. And up next, I'm just doing some standing cambered bar curls. As you can see, I went with wearing an Outwork tank top. If you guys haven't checked out their apparel, go to outworkapparel.com. They got awesome stuff. And up here, next, on our heavy lower body day, we had the pleasure of going to do lower body at our posing coach's facility. And his name is Chris Barber. Great guy. We can't say enough of this guy. He's an awesome guy. He's a great coach. He's a contest prep coach himself. He's a competitor as well, and not in natural bodybuilding. Overall, great guy, and I'm showing you guys some clips of his facility, and it's an awesome place. It's just a really good atmosphere, very serious, but something that we would just really like to have in the future, something very similar, but great environment, great people, great coaches there. And if you want to check them out, they're in Petaluma, California, if you guys are within the radius, and check them out. Their facility is called Old School Strength. Once again, Old School Strength. So right here, we're just working on some deadlifts, some heavy deadlifts starting off. This is Chris Barber right here himself. This is one strong dude. And right now, Chris is actually in the midst of still doing a bulking cycle himself, because he plans to be prepping in early spring of next year. So it's kind of exciting too. We're really looking forward to seeing how he turns out too on stage. So it's pretty awesome. So right here we have the other Chris, the other half, the other twin, the other Twinkie, doing some heavy deadlifts as well. And I can't say how much he's doing right now, but it's close to 405. I'll just throw that in there. So yeah, after doing some deadlifts, we were working on some squats. And what was pretty cool about working out here in the facility was it was a very different change. There was no mirrors when we were doing deadlifts or squats. So it was a very different experience, but nonetheless, it was great. Just the fact that not having to look at yourself do the actual movement was very tricky at first, but it turned out very well. And yeah, I was very pleased with the outcome of this workout. Man, oh man, I was so sore the next day. My whole posterior chain was just shot, just from the heavy deadlifts, the squats, and then we did some barbell lunges, and then we did some occluded work. But yeah, it was one hell of a workout, but it was awesome at the same time. So as you can see, I'm just trying to get as deep as possible on these squats with no mirror. Right here, I'm doing some barbell lunges. I haven't done these in quite some time, so if I look a little shaky on them, it's because of that reason. I just haven't done lunges in a while. I usually go with a split squat variation if I'm going to do some sort of a lunge as opposed to walking lunges. But, overall, it was okay. They were very difficult, but, I really enjoyed them. It was just something different. And right here, Chris is actually using dumbbells rather than using the barbell. I tried that on my first set, but I just didn't like, having to carry the dumbbells. My shoulders were already sore from the day before, so I just want to take some slack off my shoulders, and that's why I went with the barbell. Right here, just finishing up the workout, doing some occluded leg work, just doing some extensions, as we usually do towards the end of our leg workouts. And then right here, this was on Thursday, on another hypertrophy day, we're doing some chest and back work. Right here, we're doing some dynamic effort with some chains. Just working on some speed work, about 8 to 10 sets of 3 reps, as you can see. And we were going about, 55% of our 1 rep max. We weren't trying to do too much. But if you guys haven't tried chains, once again, give those a shot. Those are awesome. Those are resistance bands. They're both very good tools to use. Right up next, we have Chris just doing some pull down machine, the hammer strength machine. And as you can see, he's wearing a Gold's Gym tank top. He's looking like a beast. His back's coming in. Right here, different movement we did. We did some floor presses. If you guys haven't tried these, give these a shot. It's just a great alternative of just really directly hitting the chest. It just takes a lot of like the hip drive out of as opposed to doing a bench or the actual bench press. But it's actually a very, very good workout. And if you have some problems with like your shoulders or your elbows, it's a great way to take some slack off of that. But just make sure you have someone that's going to be able to hand you those dumbbells, or just get creative with it and try to just lift them off a bench. But be very, very careful with that movement. But nonetheless, it's a great, great alternative, and those are called floor presses. Up here, we're just doing some rowing movements, just kind of finishing up back on Thursday. And right here, I was just doing some occluded pull downs at about 50% of my 1 rep max. Nothing too crazy, just getting that pump in there. And then up next, Friday, we're back at it at lower body. Like I said, I was sore as hell. Right here, I'm just warming up, doing some monster walks. Actually, these are sumo walks with a little Versa Loop band. Just getting my glutes activated, just releasing all of my hip flexors, my groins, my adductor muscles, just trying to get those loose. And right here, Chris is doing what are called seated band hip abductions, and that just gets your adductors loosened up as well. And these are just great, great things to try to warm up with, and just to definitely get your body going, especially if you're just coming off of just being really, really sore. And we also did a HIIT cardio session, prior to that on a Wednesday, so we were just really, really beat, with the whole lower body. Right here, we're just working on the same thing, doing some speed work with some box squats. Same as what we're doing like on Thursday, about 55% of our 1 rep max, 8 to 10 sets for 3 reps. And then up next, I was just going with some RDLs. Nothing too fancy about these ones. Just trying to get back in the thick of things. I was coming off a deload week, so I was feeling very, very good. Right here, Chris was doing some glute to ham raises, and they don't have a machine for that here, so he was just getting creative with it. But he was saying that it worked out pretty well. But if you guys haven't tried glute to ham raises, I mean, holy crap! I mean, these things are brutal. So give those a shot, look those up. But that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. That's it for week 7. Thank you for tuning in. Right now, we're just taking each day at a time and going from there. Peace.